Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Mesh Seibel. I'm so excited to be here in Orlando, Florida at the annual meeting of the North American Menopause Society. We've got experts gathered here from all over the world to bring you the latest information on menopause. I'm so excited to share this information with you. Okay, please say your name and where you're from.
My name is Dr. James Simon. I'm a reproductive endocrinologist from Washington, D.C., and I'm clinical professor of obstetrics and gynecology at the George Washington University School of Medicine.
And tell me a little bit about the study that we're talking about.
This is a survey that was done on over 4,000 men and women from 9 different countries, the U.S. and Canada and 7 European countries, asking both women who had menopausal symptoms of vaginal atrophy, pain with intercourse, dryness, etc., and importantly, asking their partners about those symptoms and how they affected the partners and their relationship together. This is the first time that the partners have actually been queried in an extensive way to determine how vaginal atrophy actually affects a couple.
So we're talking about vaginal atrophy, which is thinning and narrowing of the vaginal walls and also loss of elasticity in the walls of the vagina. And we're talking about something that is the commonest symptom in menopause, and we're really trying to see now, what do these women and their partners think?
So if you can hear me over the music.
Yes, this is provided to you courtesy of the North American Menopause Society, where we are on site.
We are on site. So the survey was extremely elucidating. It shows a number of incredibly interesting findings. For example, it shows very clearly that vulvar and vaginal atrophy and the pain with intercourse that accompanies that syndrome adversely affects both the men and the women and the relationship. It affects women by making them feel inadequate. It makes them feel that they're not entirely whole. And we also found that they fear that their husbands or partners may seek to leave them and find another sexual partner because of this symptom and its effect on their relationship.
So things are so bad, they're afraid their partner may actually leave because it's just no more pleasure in home in this regard.
Right, and that was a striking and saddening finding, particularly in light of the fact that there are multiple treatments that are available around the world and here in the U.S. The other findings were that the men were actually much more sensitive than I had anticipated previously. They didn't engage sexually with their partners, oftentimes because they felt they were hurting their partners or that they were in some way forcing themselves on their partners. And so it had an adverse effect on him, on her, and their sexual relationship.
So really what was happening is that the guys were trying to be sensitive, and in fact, this could have even added to the situation because the women were then not feeling desirable, perhaps, and compounded everything.
Absolutely. And one of the other interesting findings was that because multiple countries were studied, we found that women in the U.S. were the least likely to use estrogen vaginally, local estrogen therapy, for treatment of their symptoms compared to the other countries. And that's very strange because the side effects of local estrogen therapy are extraordinarily low, and it's the gold standard for treatment of this problem.
So here we have a very common problem affecting the woman, affecting her partnership, affecting her relationship, and yet she was not seeking help, or at least not getting help, with local therapy that could have been a relatively safe way to make it better.
Absolutely true, and we find that less than 50% of women with this problem are actually getting treated.
Wow, less than half. Any other things you want to add to this?
No, it's just very telling that women need to seek treatment for this problem, that suffering in silence is unnecessary and has a direct adverse effect on themselves, their partner, and their relationship with their partner.
Well, thanks a lot for talking with me.
Thanks very much.